Oi, gente. Hello, people. Welcome back to Ready for Brazil. Today we're going to talk about two other very important verbs, poder and fazer. If you notice, I've changed up the format of these lessons a little bit. I'm going to lean towards just doing shorter lessons because I feel that maybe sometimes people, if you have a lesson that's 15 to 20 minutes long, they may sort of get distracted or just sort of lose interest or not be able to concentrate as well. So we'll keep it short. We'll keep it to some of the the most important verbs, I should say. And then, using the resources on our website or just using, Google or another website for other words that you should certainly learn things. So let's keep it a little bit more quick. So let's get to it. Now, the verb poder is extremely important. It means to be able to do or allowed to do, right? So asking permission, things like that. So we'll have here, I'll read it for you. Eu posso. Você pode. Remember the DE ending has that G sound. Nós podemos. Vocês podem. So, start with the first one. Eu posso comer agora. So, eu posso comer agora. Can I eat now? Right? So, here's our verb that we're conjugating, the first verb that always gets conjugated. And the second verb that follows it, if there is one, stays normal, stays in infinite form, as we say. So, eu posso comer agora. We learned comer a few lessons ago. Eu posso comer agora. Let's try something else. Não podemos ir. We can't go. We can't go. Like, I don't know, someone invites you to a concert. Não podemos ir. We can't go. Não, of course, means no. Podemos, we can. Ir means go. We learned that also. So, we cannot go, or we can't go. Right? How about one more example? Let's use pode. Ele pode beber Why is this not working? Whoops, something happened with the pen. Ele pode beber cerveja? He can drink. Man, pen's acting weird today. Beer? Question, right? Ele pode beber cerveja? He can drink beer? To be honest, you can actually respond the same way without a question mark, just a normal period, right? Ele pode beber cerveja? Ele pode beber cerveja, sim. So you can actually respond like that. So the verb poder is extremely important, yet pretty easy. So the verb fazer, to do or to make, multi-purpose verb, many different ways to use it. You can use it for something like to do, right? So I do homework every day. Eu faço lição de casa todos os dias. I do, right? I do homework every day. So it can mean to physically do something, right? It could also mean to make, right? So for example, food, right? So ela faz comida sempre. She makes food always. So she always makes food. So it can be to physically do something or to make something, to create something, to prepare food, for example. Preparar is another word you can use to talk about food, but I usually just use fazer for food, right? So, nós fazemos caipirinhas So, we make caipirinhas this Sunday, right? You could also use a future tense of the verb, but if you say this, that's perfectly fine. We make caipirinhas this Sunday as a statement, right? So, fairly simple? I think so. So let me actually pronounce these for you. Eu faço. So remember this little C, the squiggly line, right? That's like an S. Eu faço. Você faz. Ele faz. Nós fazemos. Nós fazemos. Vocês fazem. Vocês fazem. So actually, little tip for you. So the most difficult type of conjugation for me to say is always the vocês or the plural eles, elas, porque, because like I said a long time ago, this is actually like an N sound. It's not fazem, it's fazem, So pretty much, I know I mentioned this, anytime something ends in an M, you can usually just convert that to an N, and that's how it sounds, or should sound anyway. Okay, so let's do some examples. So let's do some examples with these actual two verbs, right? So posso and fazer, right? So let's do this. Eu posso fazer almoço. Can I make lunch? Can I make lunch? Question mark, right? Eu posso fazer almoço? Sim. Você pode. You can. Make. Sim, você pode fazer. Let's do one more. Vocês fazem química. So this is another example of where you can use the verb fazer. It can also mean something that you study. So we do have the verb, estudar, right? But it can also mean to study. So vocês fazem química. You all do chemistry, right? So that's like saying you do chemistry, you do biology. So I guess you can do that in English too. Vocês fazem química? Sim. Fazemos. All right, everybody. Those are two more verbs that we already completed. So I guess your list is growing and growing. Verbs are not the only thing, but they're probably the most important thing, right? Because, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Where do you want to go? What do you plan on doing, right? So that's why verbs are important. And, I try to throw in, especially in the examples, other words that are not verbs, of course. A few lessons back, we learned how to say something is in something or on something. We learned how to travel, by foot, by car, that kind of thing. So I don't want to say I'm mostly going to be doing verbs, but verbs are the most important thing because you're describing action, right? So verbs are probably going to be the premise of most of the YouTube videos. However, I will definitely throw in other things. That said, I am not going to do conjugations of every verb known to man because they're shortcuts, and that's actually one of the next videos where I'm going to teach you how to pretty much conjugate every verb, every regular verb. There are many irregulars, but if you see a verb that you don't know and you see, for example, has an AR ending, all verbs with AR have a certain conjugation pattern, so you can do that very quickly. So I will definitely not go through every verb, but I will teach you how to conjugate most verbs very quickly, And then, there are plenty of resources online, whether on our site or other sites, where you can learn words and learn verbs. I'm not going to teach you every word in the Portuguese language. You can certainly do that yourself, but I'll teach you how to construct sentences and how to use certain words. Okay, so until next time, até mais, as we say. Bye.